There must be something good about shagging a monkey then. Because if you know the consequences and you still do it, that's what I think about heroin.
Yeah.
You see the consequences are that bleak, but you do it anyway.
You do it anyway.
It must be fucking good, man. I think a lot of animals are well overrated in that respect, you know. Do you know when people go on about fucking dolphins?
Yeah.
Like, what can they actually do, though? I've seen an orangutan learn a language, like learn English. Sign language, sort of.
Yeah.
Do you know, like, so they are teachable.
Yeah.
But they'd be bottom set, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, if Ofsted were in that week, you'd be struggling, wouldn't you? I've got the orangutan set again, for fuck's sake. And some woman came up to me and said, why don't you stop talking and put the music back on? Which wasn't really a heckle, it was a fucking fair request, to be honest.
Oh, did you hear about the monkey prostitute sort of things?
No.
Mate, this is class, this. Do jokes about vaginas. I'm not doing any jokes about vaginas. Just do some jokes about vaginas. I'm not doing any jokes about vaginas at all. And he went, do some jokes about vaginas, but I'm not doing any jokes about vaginas, period. What's happening, everyone? Thanks for downloading Hot Water's Green Room podcast. Before we kick off with today's fantastic episode, I just want to let you know how you can support the podcast. You can join up as a YouTube member at Hot Water Comedy on YouTube. Sign up to be a podcast member for £3 a month. You get early access to the public episodes and a bonus episode each week. Not only that, you'll get access to all of the podcasts that are coming on the Hot Water Podcast Community channel. It's going to be the place to come for podcasts in the Northwest. Hope you enjoy the episode. Thank you.
Hot Water's Green Room.
Hello, new episode 32. As you'll notice, there is a big gap here and a gap in my heart as Tony Carroll is not here today. He's got gout. Message him, say, you know, your foot clears up, sorry about your lost toe, etc. I'm joined by the wonderful Sam Avery. Thanks for coming in, mate.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, nice. How are you doing?
I'm disappointed Tony's not in the way of our eye line.
No, well, I'm normally in the middle. Because I like to see myself as like the Michael Carrick sort of the pivot.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So I went right in the middle.
Transition.
Yeah.
There's less to look around.
I thought it was because of my skills of bouncing conversation off each other.
Yeah, transitioning the play from box to box.
But no, Binty just wants me for my body, apparently.
What causes gout?
What cause?
Is it meat? Is it meat?
Bad diet. Oh. Is it if you stand on your foot too long as well?
What, like flamingos?
So
they get a lot of gout?
Yeah, that's where it comes from. Like monkeypox comes from like monkeys shagging and that.
Yeah, I think
Gout
so.
comes. Is it?
Yeah, monkeys shagging starts everything, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Like all the baby monkeys.
There must be something good about shagging a monkey then, because if you know the consequences and you still do it, that's what I think about heroin.
Yeah.
You see the consequences are that bleak, but you do it anyway.
You do it anyway.
It must be fucking good, man.
I feel a bit like that about coming on this podcast. To be honest. Yeah. I thought that this is going to be just like me driving my career into a wall.
Oh,
but,
yeah. I mean, your demographic watches parents.
But monkeys are wild, aren't they? That's the thing. Yeah, like watching a monkey eat a banana is crazy. So imagine that banana was something else.
They have a switch. I think Binty is like, you know, missing link sort of. So like they're really friendly and cute and everything, but like one switch and it's fucking game over. That's what I think about monkeys. I greatly respect them. I wouldn't be late if they produced the pod.
No. Maybe that could be one week you could get a monkey doing all the techie stuff.
Yeah, we have. It's called Dylan. I'm sorry, Dylan. Dylan's our pet. He's our
pod
producer.
Monkey.
Yeah, it's our producer who's getting trained up.
Right.
So we insult him quite a bit.
But it's funny because we insult people by calling them monkeys, but monkeys are very intelligent, so it's not actually an insult.
Are they though?
If you explain that to someone.
Well,
some people I've met who are less smart than some monkeys.
I think a lot of animals are well overrated in that respect, you know. Do you know when people go on about fucking dolphins?
Yeah.
Like, what can they actually do, though?
It's because they don't have thumbs, though. If they have thumbs...
Nah, mate, they're gobshites. I fucking hate them, mate. If I was like, you know, it's a common bucket list thing, innit? Like, if you're terminally ill, to go and swim with dolphins, I'd go and punch one of their heads in.
I suppose the dolphins never done Wordle. In
No.
one go, have they?
No. I don't get what they are famous for. They do bombs, don't they?
They defuse bombs.
Diffuse them? I thought they plant them.
Or maybe they plant them as well. Or maybe they're double agents and they're doing one while they're telling us they're doing the other.
Oh.
Didn't they used to like diffuse the bombs in the Second World War? Like swim up to where the U-boats have been. I don't know. You might want to fact check this.
Oh, that's
no
good,
idea.
that though, isn't it? Well, fair play for dolphins. I've given you a bit of a bad
But
name
they jump
there.
up and down and do little. I think if animals do cute things, we
Yeah.
like them and we suspect that they're more intelligent.
I've seen an orangutan learn a language, like learn English, sign language, sort of.
Yeah,
So they are teachable,
yeah.
but they'd be bottom set. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, if
They'd
Ofsted
be
were in that week, you'd be struggling, wouldn't you? I've got the orangutan set again. For fuck's sake. I'm an NQT here. I'm just going to struggle.
no.
I saw a video on Twitter the other day of a monkey feeding a piece of watermelon to a turtle. And it was boss, you know.
Why have they done that?
It was, I don't know. It was a...
Oh, did you hear about the monkey prostitute sort of things?
No.
Mate, this is class, this. So, do you know, like, they pick nits out of their hair? Like,
Oh, yeah.
Like mites and everything, right, and eat them.
Yeah.
So, this monkey was picking a mite out of his mate and then taking it to a bird monkey and getting a shag.
Really?
Well, like a massage.
So that was like the payment?
No, what happened, sorry, he gets the mite, instead of eating it, he puts it clearly in his head, so he gets a massage.
That's clever.
And I think he got an happy ending.
A happy ending, I was going to say. What kind of massage?
It's good, that, though, isn't it?
I mean, it's clever.
I might try that. I'm
clever.
a single man.
Just start picking nits in your head.
Yeah, go have a go with that,
Look
girl.
at that. Look at these bugs flying around me bits. Oh, maybe. I mean, it's worth a try, innit? There's someone out there who will fall for anything.
Yeah.
But you just gotta find them.
I'm quite gullible in the past. I think it's seen as quite a negative trait. It's been stupid, isn't it?
Well, I mean, that's the perceived wisdom, innit?
Yeah, but I think I think it's a positive trait to have, because I think you're really trusting, and ultimately trust and love wins.
Well, you would hope. That's what we all hope for.
I mean, I've been scammed loads, but
Yeah.
but,
You might lose money, but you'll gain friends.
yeah, I'll gain friends, and I think it's a
People don't
kinship.
suspect you of anything if you're a bit dim, do they? They don't suspect you doing something.
I'm really high functioning, thick cunt. So I was really good at exams and that, but I just thick at life. Do you know what I mean?
It's a great Edinburgh show title, that. High functioning thick cunt. You could make little badges and stuff. Be good.
Because I'd swap being good at exams for common sense.
Would you?
Yeah. What was you?
Oh,
You seem quite mature and...
I was quite good in
common
school,
sense.
but then, I don't know, I don't think I've got much common sense, but I'm good at masking it. I'm good at hiding it.
Yeah,
I think I'm thicker than I
Glasses
look.
help with that.
Yeah. Glasses, height, I'm tall. So you
Yeah.
can't see me going, what the fuck?
Yeah, you've
But
got...
I do say stupid things.
You carry yourself well. You got good
Thanks.
posture as well.
Thanks. But
I've got an unironed shirt and me shorts were undone all the way down from the train, and I was facing a newborn baby, which, you know, in hindsight, isn't a great look. I didn't realise it was down, obviously, but my zip was undone, and Becky, the show manager here, just went like, you know,
Yeah.
what's happened to me? My mum's been on holiday for 3 days. I found myself, right, here's how unindependent I am, or dependent, right? I found myself, you know, like YouTube tutorials, anything's on YouTube, right?
Yeah, all of it.
How to clean a toilet brush.
Oh, no, that's a good thing, because what
My
I
head
do
falls
is...
off.
I just flush the toilet and jam it down like it's a first year on its first day.
I did it in the
secondary
bath.
school. You did it in the bath? Well, I mean, that's a no-no, isn't it?
I threw it away in the end. It was giving me too much anxiety.
Was someone in the bath at the time?
No, so I owe my mum a toilet brush when she comes back.
I'll do you back.
It's been.
I went on YouTube once to find out how to cut an avocado pear, which in one sentence makes me sound stupid and very middle class.
Yeah.
But I didn't have a fucking clue when I was just hacking at it, or trying to peel it like an apple. And there's a technique to it.
That's too much faff.
Well, I don't eat avocado.
Coconuts as well, pineapples. It's too much admin involved.
Yeah.
There's no need for it.
Do you think those fruits should be eaten then? I think, are they trying to tell us don't eat us if they're hard to get to?
Well, it's got to be. They have evolution in them. We're related like 70% to a banana.
Are we that far to the banana? Some of us are the peel.
Yeah, we share DNA with bananas and that.
What DNA?
So they have evolution, just like the cells, like the cells that make it. Like there must be carbon based, like we are.
So bananas have evolved as everything's evolved. So did bananas used to just be peelless?
Maybe.
Were they just like little nipples on a tree?
Bananas don't shag, do they?
Bananas don't. Well, they can, but they don't produce.
They also don't have seeds in them.
They don't have seeds.
It is a seed, isn't it?
It's been selectively.
How do bananas grow?
We bred bananas.
We bred
Those
bananas.
bananas are clones of all other bananas. That's why every year they always have risk of going extinct. Because one disease will wipe the lot out.
Wow.
Bananas grow on trees, though, don't they?
Yeah. But
We-
it's all the same.
How did we come up with the banana then?
I don't know, but the banana peel is not doing much protecting job. It's not helping much, is it?
Yeah, for us with thumbs, but a fucking dolphin's gone, oh, for fuck's sake.
If a dolphin's getting near a banana tree, it's taking a wrong turn, haven't they?
Yeah,
And proving your point to the thick as fuck.
yeah. It might be with climate change. Politics there for the fans. I have no idea about current affairs or anything.
What's your view on climate change?
I don't care enough.
You don't care?
I'm sure it's happening, but
Yeah.
I honestly don't care.
Is there anything, do you think, that you do in your daily life that is bad for
I'm
climate?
very low maintenance.
Okay.
I left my fan on for 2 days straight. That's probably bad.
Yeah.
So, and it didn't work in the end. It was just the same warm air, innit?
I was in a hotel about a month ago, and it was dead hot, and I was going out, and there was a guy in front of me in the queue at reception, and he said, have you got a fan, to the one behind the counter? And she gave him a fan. And then later on I saw him, and he was taking like another 2 fans into his room. And I said, how's it going? And he went, oh yeah, I'm just putting these fans in the room. I'm going to leave them on while I'm out. So when I get back, it'll be nice and cool.
Yeah.
And I spent about half an hour going, what the fuck was that guy thinking of? Because that's not going to cool the room down, is it?
Is it not?
Just leave. Well, no, because it's just all the same air, but it's not.
Yeah, I get you.
Fans do nothing for temperature. They just make you feel cooler.
Yeah.
It's like real feel, but it's not. The temperature's the same.
Real
Yeah.
feel.
Well, you know, like when it's windy, it feels colder, but it's still the same.
Yeah.
It's still 19 degrees, but it's windy, so you're cold.
But you're colder.
Because the wind blows, you're like, your protective layer of heat away than it.
I've been sleeping on wet because fucking yesterday. Last 2 days has been Ginger 9/11 on it. It's been fucking survival story. So I've been sleeping on wet towels. That's a good idea. And wrapping one around my head, to like a woman who's just come out of a shower,
like a
towel
Taliban
wrap.
Yeah. Just
Oh,
cold
Taliban. Yeah. So that's been my way.
I can't sleep without me. I need me toes underneath something. I don't know why. I feel like the monsters will get me.
I can be absolute bollock, me.
Well, I was down to me undies, but I just had me little toe and me big toe just underneath this little bit of, I don't know why, it's like weird comfort
like
thing.
a protection thing.
Yeah, the middle ones went over the top like some kind of metal sign with me toes. But it did help. I got a good solid 3 hours of sleep.
Do you care about climate change? Are you
I say I cared about it, and deep down I feel like I cared about it, but I do absolutely nothing about it.
I believe it exists. Don't get me wrong.
I like to virtue signal about it. And I think that helps me feel better, like I'm doing something, but I'm absolutely doing nothing. But there's loads of stuff like that. Like, there's loads of things I cared about, but I do nothing to change.
What like?
Fucking everything. Climate change, racism, inequality, all these things I say I care about, but I don't care enough about them to do anything.
You're not actively doing things to encourage the bad stuff, though, are you?
I like watching documentaries about them. And going, someone needs to do something here. But, like, is it going to be you? No, it's not going to be me.
No, I'm not. I'm just one man.
What can I do? I'm just an innocent man.
No. Because I believe it exists and everything. And I do my bit, but it's not deliberate. Do you know what I mean? It's I accidentally, because of the life I lead, I don't drive, so I get trains everywhere or coaches, so I use public transport. That helps.
You're an accidental activist.
I'm accidental.
I live in a tree sometimes. Stop the motorway by accident.
Yeah, Greta's not going to love me. She's not going to hate me. I'm like, me and Greta are sound. She has beef. We're absolutely sound.
She doesn't eat beef, she's vegan.
Yes, lovely stuff.
What do you care about? What world issues do you care about?
Do you know what, mate? Very, very little. I just see where like my gigs are and my own. I'm very self-centered.
But I think most people are. I don't think that's a bad thing. But I think a lot of people are like me and like to pretend that they care more than they do.
I stopped a lad getting bullied once. That felt good.
Oh, good.
Like 3 lads like shoving him around and that, and I was like, "Fuck me." They're 14, and I think, I need to say this with like confidence because I think they could fucking shoe me in. So I fucking leave him alone. So I like turned hard.
Is this recent?
A couple of years ago.
So you're an adult,
yeah. Just I think it's before COVID and all that. So they was just like shoving him around, and they went, "Oh, it's just banter," but I could see he was like, bottom lip going in that. So I was like,
Stepped
fuck.
in.
So I stepped in. It felt like a fucking hard, mate.
That's good.
I have that's me defence mechanism. I used to do stand up about it, just acting hard, when teenagers and bus stops and that.
Yeah.
Just walk with like fuming face.
It's the fuming face and it's the body shape, innit?
Yeah.
I do it sometimes where I stick my neck out and then I put my shoulders up and I just walk. I just
Like
look
a pigeon.
I look like a smackhead pigeon who's late to meet his methadone appointments. Just like, but in my head I feel like I'm doing like full on peak Biff Tannen.
But
Fucking hell.
But it's peacocking, innit? It's
Yeah.
just the show. Like, fuck me, he's got some feathers on him. Leave him alone, lad.
Yeah, but you never know when your voice is going to crack, do you?
No.
Hey, lads, I think you should leave that lad alone.
Yeah. Not there. Well, it's you on him. Fucking leave him.
I actually said to a group of kids, I know your mum the other day.
Oh,
Which
did
is
you?
Like
That's
the
a
first-
milestone, innit?
That's a milestone towards the grave,
yeah.
innit? Just, I know your mum. It's like...
So the one that's before that is a mum on public transport saying the man will shout at you.
And you're the man.
You're the man. I'm not the man.
The fella.
I'm on the kid's side. Fuck off. Let him have another fruit shoot, you type bit.
But I used to tell kids that I'd shagged their mum, even though I hadn't. And now I say, I know your mum. Soon I'll be saying, I hope to meet your mother soon.
Yeah. I know your mum.
Depressing, isn't it? The fella, though, the fella's a great threat, isn't it? This existential man who's going to get you.
Yeah.
Like the fella. I mean, even in my 20s, we used to go, don't do that. The fella will... What fella? The fella.
I know. The bus man will kick you off.
The man, the man who's like in charge.
Did you have it with God at all?
God's what, like?
Yeah, like God's got was like
No,
Christian or anything.
I was totally in a godless house. I was in, so
yeah.
I never had that. I think the worst I had was the bogeyman. We used to call it the bogeyman, but even the bogeyman wasn't clearly defined where I lived.
We had a fucking mint one for my brother. Right, brother's got autism and that. Right, and I lived next door to my nana, like growing up. So my dad's still in his fucking mum's house. My mum grew up one door next door to my nana. So both parents had a net move of one house. So 2 parents, one house. So it was never aspirational to go far or anything. So we lived next door to my nana. So my nana was having a new kitchen put in. Obviously, it's like terrace houses and that.
Yeah.
And my brother could hear a drill going. So we called it the Airman.
Oh.
So anytime he was like playing up, just go, fucking Airman, I'll get the Airman. So he was like, the Airman. No, but I'd like, sometimes rather cruelly go next door and just
put the
play
drill
with a drill. Sit him up.
That's quite scary though, because that's got like a sound effect.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
and it's getting closer and louder.
Yeah,
Oh,
and the fact you can't see the face, that's what all the classic horror movies, isn't it? Where you don't see the villain.
Yeah,
Once you see him, take the magic out.
I was scared of this Chinese ornament. I used to have, I genuinely thought it come to life in ghost form.
Was it like a person? Shape of
Like
a
a
person?
porcelain doll.
They're quite freaky though.
But and obviously in hindsight, at the time when I'm 6 or 7, I thought it was a ghost. But, because it came in spirit form to me. I'm obviously dreaming or overthinking. But I'd run in my mum and dad's bed and go, fuck, it's the doll again.
Oh, yeah.
And I was scared to get it out of my room. And this fucking weird, I don't even know where it came from. This
One
weird
tear of milk down its face.
Yeah. I don't know. So that I was scared of like this fucking weird little Chinese doll thing. It's fucking terrifying.
I used to be scared of a man who lived down the bottom of our street, and this is before the word paedophile was even, and he wasn't. He was just a fella. He just had a beard. He had a beard in the 1980s, and it made him look a bit scary. And I said to me mate, I must have been about 6. I said, "There's a kidnapper that lives down our road. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and wait down the bottom of the road. And if I'm not back in 5 minutes, I've been kidnapped." And he just went, "Sound." Like, that was a good plan. So I went down to the bottom of the street and stayed there for about 8 minutes and got back, and he was just hysterical and just thought I was dead. Even my mum and dad weren't asked, which is weird. They were like, just a fella down the bottom of the road with the beard.
I think it's missing a bit of that now in streets.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? A bit of a... I mean, I'm hoping... I'm 3 relatives away from 2 houses. Not that I want them to die, but
Great,
you know.
knock through, big mansion.
But it's a pretty good silver lining for it. It's a heavy cloud, but a good silver lining. And I always think, like, I wonder what kind of man I'll be, Joe, and when I'm the house.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because I could very easily play up to that, you know, I'll pop your ball sort of fella.
Oh, yeah.
When I'm growing up, you think, there's this bloke who had like a proper clapped out car, proper, you know, like dead small and stout, but built like a wombat, and like a grey mullet, just looked like he weren't going to mess, like egg-stained vest and all that. So like, no...
Full on. Rapsy Nesbitt.
Yeah, exactly. So we used to play like footy outside and just try and hit the lamppost sort of thing.
Yeah.
And occasionally hit his car, he'd go fucking mental. Like, it was... I ate his car, like, proper knackered. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You'd probably improve it by hitting it.
Yeah.
And he'd come out and he'd fucking bullet chase you. He'd chase you. And it just don't go on anymore.
Oh, it was Boss getting a legger, wasn't it?
Oh, it's
the
class,
adrenaline.
mate.
It was like a shot of pure adrenaline through your spine.
I don't
Amazing.
think I've ever been as scared as when we knocked on the wrong house in Knock a Door Run, and this fella sprint. I went, the thing is, I've just knocked on a door. Why are you asked?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It doesn't matter.
It's just like a show. He fucking sprinted, and he was like, you know, the cock of the street, and he told me dad's for fuck's sake, but you're knocking on fucking
what
John's
you knocking on
door.
his door for?
Fucking psycho.
Jesus Christ. There was a guy who lives about 3 doors down over the other side of the road to us, and we used to play tennis across the road, and like a car had come, we just carry on, like, you know, one time the tennis ball must have like touched the top of his car, and he pulled into his drive, and we all shit ourselves, and he shouted dead loud, he went, "I'll deal with you later." And he never dealt with us later, but for about 3 months, I walked a different way so we can go past his house, because I thought that might be later, and he might come out and deal with me.
I was round my cousin's house once, and we just got loads of water balloons and that, water bombs, and we just throwing them at houses, and he fucking came round, and we hid in the garage, and he just fucking, "I know you're in there." I'm like, it's like, we've got to live here now.
Yeah, this is us.
We've got to live here now for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, or build a big thing like the A-team used to and just burst out.
I miss that. How old are your kids now?
7.
7. So are they getting into playing out, or?
Do you know what? Last week, some lad started knocking at the door and going, "Oh, the lad's playing out. He's a little bit older, but he seems like a nice lad." But I was like, "Oh yeah," and they went to play out, and I just like stood in the porch watching, which looked weird in itself, didn't it? But I just
what's the street like? Though, is it a main road, like a
no? It's
busy
just
road?
it's a quiet road. There's a little bit of grass on it, so it's kind of nice, you know.
Sound.
But there's not that many kids live around there, so I'm not sure how I would respond if I was driving down my street and a tennis ball touched the roof of my car. I don't think I'd stop and say, "I'll deal with you later."
Yeah, would you laugh
I think
it
I'd be
off?
very worried about one of them filming me on the phone and becoming like a TikTok sensation, but not for me comedy. Just so angry, bald tit shouts at kids.
I have my mate, like my best mate. He gets fucking rolled, like instant rolled. Like just I'd switch and when he's driving, and one of my absolute ultimate fantasies is him getting caught with like a bike cam to like Ronnie Pickering getting fuming.
Ronnie Pickering, he's amazing. Him,
that's
I
class,
think he's
isn't it?
class. Yeah, that's the fear of anything now. And I think if there was cameras around in the 1980s when we were getting chased by
It's
all
funny,
these
isn't it?
weirdos and threats, just a little lapel camera.
I just love how they just lost it so quickly, didn't they?
Yeah.
Another thing we used to do is we tied fishing wire to a lamppost and just watched people trip up. But what we did once, this was fucking class, this, by the way, how many cars we got with this. So we'd pretend we've got fishing wire and like that, holding it and they can see us on 3 each on either side of the road. And there's nothing there, but the cars are like inching closer, getting out the car, going like that. It's like, 1-0, lad. Then just shout 1-0 and fuck off.
1-0.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
gotcha.
used to fucking go mad. I just love things like that. Hijinks.
We got hijinks. It's a great word, isn't it?
Yeah.
For just throwing stones at people's windows. Oh, come on, officer. This is just hijinks.
Ah, you little scamp. Break me dog's face in.
Damn you, ragamuffins. We got chased by 2 nuns once.
Sounds like the start of a joke.
I know. 2 nuns.
2 nuns chasing us
on a
down the
field.
street.
We were playing on a Catholic school field during the summer holidays, just playing like heads and volleys. And now and again, I grew up in McGull, and next to it was Kirby. And if someone from Kirby was in McGull, it was like
post-Cold Wars.
It was like Godzilla. It was in town. Everyone was shitting themselves, and like, oh god, they're on the loose. Some Kerbo, we called them.
Why is that rough and Maggle is?
Well, I suppose that was what people
That's a
perception of. But anyway, someone from Kirby could come on the street and nothing would happen. But if one nun came out of this, what do you call where nuns live?
Nunnery.
Nunnery, that's it. Well, if one of them came out and just came over towards us, we'd all go, fucking hell, there's a nun coming. And they'd waddle over. And this one time, 2 of them were chasing us, like, and it was, across the field. We just started running across the field, and they didn't stop chasing us. Like, what would they have done if they would have caught us? Like, smack our ass with a ruler.
It's weird, isn't it, how nuns are perceived as quite scary, but yet they're holy, in inverted commas.
Well, they're meant to be, aren't they?
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's weird. It's a weird dynamic, isn't it?
Well,
like, people are scared of, people who believe in God and that, they're scared of pissing the priest off, and they're scared of pissing a nun off, do you know what I mean?
Well, they're like the foot soldiers of God, aren't they?
Yeah,
they're the kind of middle management.
Yeah,
of
but
Jesus.
they're like fucking team leaders in a call centre.
Well,
you
that's
carry
it.
no fucking weight, you. Shut your fucking mouth.
Exactly. That's the reality, but then it gives them that attitude that they've got to, toe the line.
It's like, why do you care so much? Do you think the Pope cares what you're doing? That's what I never got on with, like... Well, I've had some good team leaders in call centres, obviously, but some of them are like fucking... proper think they act like an apprentice contestant.
Yeah.
So like they're a go-getter because they're getting an extra $2,000 a year.
Yeah.
To like listen to your calls. Oh, fuck off.
It's bullshit, isn't it? It's bullshit, but that's what the apprentices have done to everyone. Make you think you've got to be a twat to be successful.
Honestly, can't believe it.
Just
like these people who say, "I'll just say how it is," and well, don't. Do you know what I mean? Have a bit of emotional intelligence. How about that?
Yeah.
That's one thing.
Imagine them going on The Apprentice and going, I'm going to give it my best shot, but if I don't win, it's probably for the best, because ultimately the best person will win, and I am not the best in my field, but damn it, I am going to try my hardest. They wouldn't let you on.
No,
You've got to go,
no.
I'm the best in business. I'm going to crush everyone in my path.
I know, I hate it, mate.
And I'm going to look great in a tight suit.
Tight blue suit.
That's, How would you do in The Apprentice?
Do you know, I invented a board game in Spanish.
Haven't we all?
In year 8 or 9. Similar kind of feel to Monopoly. You go around a board and there's different consequences and different rewards. Right?
Yeah.
Classic board game format, but I used to love board games and stuff as a kid. And I called it Pequeño.
Pequeño.
Yeah. The big game with the little name. Because Pequeño's little in Spanish.
I've seen that on Disney Plus, I think. Pequeño.
Because it sounds good. It sounds good as well. It's got a good tagline to it.
My mates in school did an amazing advert as like one of those like school projects where you've got to come up with a marketing campaign and a little advert, and they storyboarded this advert for Budweiser, and it was Jesus on the cross, hours from death.
Yeah.
Before obviously he came back, didn't he, or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's on the cross and he's dying, and it just zooms in, and on his hands, which have been nailed to the cross, he's holding a can of Bud. And it just comes up and goes, the king of Jews drank the king of beers.
Oh, my God.
And they weren't allowed to submit it, which I think is a shame.
No.
It's very offensive to some, because Budweiser's horrible. But it's, I thought that was a good tagline.
It is good. It is good. I can see why it wouldn't be allowed.
I can see, Those nuns would not have been happy.
Yeah, but The Apprentice, I think my biggest asset is my emotional intelligence. I just got... Instead of saying how it is, I'll just keep that to myself.
Yeah.
I'll let that. I'll tell him behind his back when he's not looking.
I'll just tell my wife when I get home or whatever. I'll just forget about it in 10 minutes, because it doesn't really matter, because we're all going to die.
Just add it onto the skip of bitter and resentments that I have. just another bin bag that I can't control.
Bin bag of emotions. I think mine. my big sell on The Apprentice, if I was being honest, would be that I'm I get on with most people and I'm fairly friendly. So any shortcomings I have, I can probably mask with enthusiasm.
Yeah,
Be like, fucking hell.
My mate was on it.
Was he?
Yeah.
How far did he get?
Not very far.
How far would you get? What week? I reckon week 2 I'd do.
I got like, really good marks in business studies and that. So that's what I went into. I've written a mint essay on Coca-Cola once.
Okay.
So the question was, is Coke too big to go under and stuff? So, and you got to use like, different business buzzwords and all that. And my conclusion was, in theory, no business is too big to go under. We've seen it with banks and stuff like that. But the invention of the innovation in their marketing and their constant need to be at the forefront of the market just means Coke probably never go under. It's the real thing. Oh, A-star, bang. Thanks, Julie McLeod, business teacher. So I was really tuned into business in I'm like an ideas guy, do you know what I mean? And then when it got to the nitty gritty, I did accounts and economics. I was just like, that side of it really bored. I was good at maths and stuff, but it was just really bored until the tedious nature of going in and out. I quit my economics course because the woman couldn't pronounce entrepreneur right.
How did she say it?
Entrepreneur.
And
it sent a shiver down my spine.
Poor that, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's said like in every lesson. Do you know what I mean? For like 3 or 4 times a lesson. But I can't be in this room while you're saying that.
Every time she says it, you just got this wild tip.
Yeah, so I could have been the Chancellor of the Exchequer, but the entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur.
No.
Yeah, I was never good at business studies. I think a lot of people have good ideas, don't they? But very few people see them through. I've got an idea, actually. I'm never going to make it happen. So if anyone's listening and they want to just go with it, feel free. When you're trying to... if people bite the nails too much... Like, there's a spray, isn't there? You can spray on your nails that makes your nails taste horrible when you're biting them. So if you're trying to, like, lose weight, how about a spray you spray in your mouth that makes, like, unhealthy food taste like shit? Isn't that a good idea?
That is good.
You can come up with a name and a tagline.
That is good.
And then someone else can make loads of money off it.
That is good.
I don't know what you'd use. Again, it's just an idea.
Or if you could spray flavour onto broccoli, it tastes like chicken wings.
You can do that with syrup, can't you? You just put syrup on.
Yeah, but that's unhealthy.
That's not healthy.
Yeah.
Just spray calorie-free.
It's like fry light.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be good.
Just spray that, but it's like, it's 1 calorie a spray, but you can spray chicken wing on a broccoli, and it just tastes like broccoli.
Would you like some of my blue wicked cauliflower?
I had an idea for like Dragon's Den. I have fake Dragon's Den pictures in my head and stuff like that where it gets a bit emotional.
Emotional.
Where I'm like I'm 16. I've come up with this idea.
Right.
And then like, where did you get your money from? I went, I just sold my window cleaning business. I started off cleaning my neighbour's windows, and it just grew. And then I started doing
doors,
the skyscrapers, the skyscrapers in Manchester, and sold my share of the business for 250 grand and put it all in this. And what it is,
I'm all in. By the way,
I mean, when I come up with this, I was, it not been invented yet, and it's since been invented, so it's still my idea, essentially. It's called the Transmate.
Okay,
Transmate.
We've all got a transmate. Well, we say we have when we're saying something that's slightly offensive.
But it was trans, where you speak into it and it instantly, perfectly translates something. Because I was in Spanish and less GCSE or whatever, and a lot of people Google Translate it, but it's not always grammatically correct. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the order of a Spanish sentence is different to ours. Do you know what I mean? So if we said, like, the dog is brown, they'd say the brown dog or whatever, for it as an example. Yeah. So you couldn't use Google Translate to get away with it. Do you know what I mean? So I thought this would be a great educational tool.
But what is it now? Is it Google Translate? Does it?
I think so. I think there'll be an app for it now. Do you know what I mean? This was back in 2006 or whatever.
How about an app where if you've got something really horrible you want to say to someone, you say that sentence into the app and it tells you a passive-aggressive version of saying it to them. So you can say it to them without being punched, but you
yeah.
can still make your fucking point.
But they have them in offices, don't they?
Oh, do they like
So
translators?
yeah. Instead of saying, fucking, you fucked up that order. It went, oh, your order could do with improvement.
Oh,
Let's have a look at how we
yeah.
can do it.
Yeah.
Fucking hate all that office shit. I speaking off pod, weren't we? Where grasses basically. So I had a couple of examples. I used to do stand up about this. I exaggerated it on stage. If you know, I think there's a clip on Hot Water about it. But essentially, what happened, right? I worked in a call centre for car insurance. Obviously, he asked all the details, occupation, and that, and he's kicking off. You know, his renewal has gone up. His insurance quote's gone up. So I'll see what I can do for you. Now, what you do is you put their account number in this system, and it tells you what the maximum discount you can give. So it's either 0, 5, 10 or 20% for this particular customer. Just based on different factors. I don't know the algorithm. Some are entitled to 20, some aren't. I don't know how they work it out. So I'll put it in. It's like, all right, you can give him a 10% discount, which takes him lower than his previous renewal. I'm going to get fucking top marks from the customer and save him. It goes on my stats. So I went, oh, I can actually bring it down by 50 quid. He went, why didn't you give me that price first? Which is a valid point. Well, I went, well, see, you've been with us for years and blah, blah, blah. Turn it down. And he just wouldn't let it go. I went, mate, I'm giving you the fucking money off. Do you know what I mean? Wouldn't let it go, though. Wouldn't let it go. Anyway, I had all the details. I found his firm, his painting and decorating firm. And I called him a few days later. Negotiate the price. I said, like, can you do it for, like, living room and 2 bedrooms or whatever? And he's like, 450. I went, my budget's only 400. Oh, yeah, go on then. I went, why didn't you give that price first? And he realised who it was, because we'd had a lengthy argument, and he rang and,
Complained.
Yeah.
Do you know if someone fucking hoodwinks you that far, you'd have to go fair play.
I know, why can't you just laugh it off? I mean, it's petty on my behalf.
Yeah, but you've got to admire that pettiness.
Yeah.
Without pettiness at that level, there'd be no good stories in the world.
If people were rude to me, I'd get their email address and postal address and sign them up to, junk mail marketing sites where you sign up for offers and just bombard their emails. It's very, very vindictive for rude people.
But there's a lesson in that, isn't there? Just be nice. Be nice to people on the phone.
It's not us. We're not the CEOs.
No.
And you get, honest to God, I've worked in loads of call centres selling all sorts of different shit. I know it's annoying. But if you're nice, you'll get more out of it. Trust me. Because if you're rude, I'll just, even if you've got 20% and you're rude, I'll just go, I'm not fucking giving it you. I've got that power.
I think you should be able to see the look on the face of the people who are phoning you up, the death behind the eyes, because you'd have a bit more. I saw a kids entertainer once. Where was I? I was doing a gig somewhere in the Midlands, and I was walking around and I was killing time, and I just saw this kids entertainer. I think I was having that moment going. I was hungover, and I was like, "Fuck, why am I doing this gig? What am I doing here in the middle of Birmingham on a Saturday afternoon on my own, walking around hungover, walking around the housing estate because I've got nothing to do." Just walking around, and then I saw this kid's entertainer, and he had the full-on branded car. He had the full-on, like, Mr. Tumble style suit,
dead behind the eyes,
wacky suitcase. He was dead behind the eyes, and before he knocked on the door, he went like this. He went, and then he just knocked on the door, and then they opened it. He went, "Hi!" And I just thought, can't wait for this gig tonight. I'm in the right game here. At least I'm not him.
I've seen it with George Michael tribute act, where it was like. There was a comedy on in a different room, and the guy who owned the gig said, "Oh, you can't use the green room; it's for George Michael." Oh, fucking is it? Yeah. So I went, "I can just charge my phone then." And he went, "Yeah, if it's all right with George." And all right. So I went in and went, "Is that all right to put my phone on charge?" And it was like in front of the mirror with the light bulb showbiz lights, and he's just like, yeah. And it's just like, I've got to go back out like a fucking war veteran.
Oh my God. That's showbiz, isn't it? That's showbiz.
There's some gigs. Well, I'm always quite excited to go on stage, to be fair. I know what you mean when you're rough and that. You're like, oh my God. I felt a bit like that yesterday, and the gig turned out great. It was a bit hungover. I was opening for this new act competition. New bar called Bask in Stockport. I'll just give them a shout out. Mint bar. It's run by a couple of good DJs from Manchester, Gareth Brooks, and someone else. It's fucking proper cool places. Somewhat on every night, music, comedy, blah blah blah. And I was opening for this new act competition, like fucking Tuesday gig. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be, hardly anyone here. Sold out, fucking mint room. Had a whale of a time on stage, doing a bit of new stuff. It was just fun. Do you know what I mean? And then the new act I was like, fuck, having to talk myself into the gig at first. Yeah. And then when we got there, it's just fucking sound. And then I'd finished, and I went out, and I saw Jamie Hutchinson, blah, blah, blah. And the MC's Trevor. I don't know if you know Trevor Lynch.
I know the name. I don't think I met him.
So he goes back on and back announces me. He's like, Jamie Hutchinson. And then this fucking podcast fan stood up. He went, plug his podcast. He's got a podcast. Like screaming it to the audience. I'm like, fucking all right, mate. So shout out Spud. That was great behaviour.
Yeah, well, it's when you got a hangover. That's the only time when I dread a gig when I got a hangover. But I don't really. Rough. That's very rare. That happens to me now. But like
it's very common for me.
Well, exactly. Yeah. But 10 years ago, that was all the time. Especially if it was away for a weekend.
Yeah.
The Saturday gig, I'd just be so hungover from the Friday night.
Yeah, you can't go too hard on the Friday.
And then I just all day I dread the gig.
Did you used to check lineups and think, is anyone to get pissed with here? I do that all the time.
Sometimes I'd check and I go, oh no. me and him always go off together and go and get slammed, just like, shit. Especially I used to go to Glasgow all the time, and it's like the Glasgow acts are so friendly, and like there's loads of sound fellas up there and girls and stuff, and it's just all and
it's just percentage of. I mean, every act that comes down from Glasgow, and they just tend to roof it. They must have some shit up there that don't make it south of the border or whatever.
I think they do, but I think there's so many of them, and it just raises the level across the board.
They're just naturally, it's like Scousers, aren't they? Are naturally funny people. Do you know what I mean? In conversation.
But I think there's some really, really good Glasgow acts that nobody's ever heard of, but are top tier circuit acts. You would literally. If you were following them on a bill, you'd be like, oh shit.
Especially in Glasgow.
I wish I wasn't hungover, and I wish I wasn't in Glasgow.
No, and I wish I was better.
I wish I'd been going for another 30 years. But it's great. Yeah, it's a really good city to go to.
Yeah, there was a good standard of the new act competition as well. It's like, fucking hell, I wanted to see a bit of death. Do you know what I mean? And the standard was pretty good. Lad who won was from Glasgow.
Sometimes with new acts, though, you see them. I've seen it this few times. You see someone that's the third gig, and you just think, well, I have seen not the next big thing, the next thing. This is going to be like, they're going to be everywhere. And then you see them 3 years later, and they've done 1,000 gigs, and they're still the same level. They're still all right, but they haven't really progressed.
You see it a lot when they don't travel around, I think.
I
think you can get complacent. I've seen it with, people who don't do it anymore, but were, as, better natural talent than I was at the start. I was shit at the start. But they weren't going Newcastle, they weren't going Birmingham and all this. Just because there's so many gigs in Manchester and Liverpool, you get complacent.
Yeah.
And you're doing the same ring, and you just get stuck in a rut.
Also, I think if you get too comfy in certain clubs, it's good to have comfy clubs to play because they're fun, and you're going to have fun. But sometimes you've got to be looking at the crowd, looking at the stage, looking at the act before you're going, okay, this is, I'm going to have to work here. Which is, I think that's good. It's like going to the gym, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. And I think as well, what's a benefit with me when I weren't great at the start, do you know what I mean? It's all right, I was passable, but weren't pulling up trees, is you don't get married to your material. If you're an act that smashes gong shows, you went, that 5 I can never let go. Do you know what I mean? You can let go.
Yeah, let's move on. You got to keep evolving, haven't you?
I think I gave some embarrassing advice yesterday.
Oh, what was it?
Oh, this is so cringy, right? Because they have a pro opener at this competition, then the competition judges to warm it up, sort of thing. So there was like, are you saying to watch the competition? A couple of them knew me from like this and whatever, and they do the Hot Water Mondays. I'm always there on Monday, so they knew who I was. So I was like, you give me feedback on my set and all that, and I'm like, oh my god, please have a good set. I've not got it in me to please have a good set.
Great mic technique.
Yeah, I know. Well, this is how embarrassing it was. So there's this fella, he's 69, lovely bloke, right? He was, he had an all right gig, do you know what I mean? He was sound, nothing bad.
69 and a new act. That's impressive, that.
Nothing bad at all. He went, but it's like, I don't want to I think there's a lot of joy in figuring it out yourself.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
It sounds dismissive to go just figure it out. Do you know what I mean? But I'm just like, it's better that way.
Yeah.
But you sound like a cunt because I was like a little geek, asking Dan Nightingale for advice every 2 minutes, and other comics who host Beat the Frog and all that.
Yeah.
So and he come to me for advice. I'm like, I don't want to do it. And I went, you should smile more. You're dead likeable. It's like I'm fucking negging a girl in the street. Oh, you cheer up, love. I was like, no, I felt.
Yeah, but you've got to say something. You can't say nothing, can you? You can't just say nothing.
I know.
Your shoes are nice.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Maybe dress differently.
Do you get peppered for feedback, Binter? Like specifics on like their set and how to improve.
It's always very generic when you ask.
Oh yeah.
I mostly just ignore them.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, it's hard, but I think figuring it out yourself is the right way, and it is joyful when you finally moments.
you crack it.
But it is helpful if someone, because sometimes, I don't know about you personally, I am very self-critical, but I am also a very slow learner.
Yeah,
so it took me a bit longer, I think, especially at the beginning. It took me a good 4 years or something, 5 years.
When did you start then?
2003, I did my first gig.
Right. So it was before, I guess it sort of boomed like 09, 10, didn't it? After Live at the Apollo and stuff. Was it a quieter circuit back then, or?
No, it was busy, but there wasn't much going on in Liverpool, and I couldn't drive, so I used to get the train to Manchester. So I used to do 1 gig a month. For the first 2 years, I did 1 gig a month, and I got worse. I genuinely got worse. So 2 years in, I had this 1 gig, and I was worse than when I'd started. But I had this offstage confidence. I was a comedian. But on stage, I was dog shit. And that was when I said to myself, if I'm going to do this, I need to do it properly. So I learned to drive, got a car, and then just did 6 nights a week for the next 2 years. And then after those 4 years, I was like, I felt like I'd only really been going for 2 years, but I'd technically had my first gig 4 years before. And I felt like I'd stopped shaking on stage and stopped stuttering and basics like that.
You just get... I still do a little bit, because I'm all fingers and thumbs and stuff. My first thought is just get the mic out the stand with no complications. You know what I mean? Because the amount of times, but especially when I was starting out, where I take the mic out the stand, it's wrapped round the stand, and you put it, and you're tethered, and oh my god,
you're
things like
stuck.
that. Because you used to teach, you're responsible for Callum Oakley, aren't you? You're to blame.
My fault. Yeah. I taught comedy for years, but I think I enjoyed it when I was doing it because I'd come from this like personal experience of being dreadful at comedy, like funny off stage, but dreadful at comedy.
You get that a lot.
And not understanding the basic mechanics of how to get a setup and a punchline and all the basics, but
just the rhythm of your speech,
and everything. The confidence side, I had no confidence whatsoever on stage. Well, I suppose off stage as well, but on stage certainly. And I think I made so many mistakes many times, and because I didn't get advice from anyone, I just learned it all myself the hard way by driving to Plymouth and dying on my arse and driving home going, why the fuck do I keep doing that bit that doesn't work? And driving home for like £6 petrol money to Plymouth, which isn't as bad as it sounds now, but it was still pretty, like, it wasn't a profitable weekend.
No.
And then being able to like spot that quite quickly in people and go, you're doing something I used to do, you're just doing it, and all you need to do is stop saying that. Like, it's just like basic stuff, really.
Do you remember much of Callum's first...
Yeah,
tiptoes? What was it like?
Callum was great because he was what was he, like 14 when I taught him?
Yeah.
So he was dead shy in the class, and everyone else was getting up and trying, and he'd just get up and do it.
Yeah,
and that's as simple as I can explain it. Because
he didn't have to show off.
No, and I don't know how much work he put in, like between the sessions and off stage and that, but. He had clear ideas with clear punchlines and clear premises, and it was like, this is great, this.
Yeah. So you thought of him as a star pupil straight away?
Yeah, and he's all downhill since then.
Oh, yeah. Shambles of a man.
No, he was great. He was great from the start.
So was you teaching teenagers then, or was he just fucking stinking in?
Yeah, no. So I used to go into, like, this is going back about 10 years now, I used to go into schools and teach kids comedy. But it was after school, so they had to want to be there. Although, to be honest, the ones who didn't really want to be there, but the teachers had said, look, this would be good for you. They were the ones,
a confidence thing.
Yeah. The ones who, week one, were like, why am I here? Like, not why am I here cocky, but why am I here? I am terrified. And you'd have a laugh with them, and they'd realise it was all quite comfortable and safe. And you'd see the spark in their eyes go off, and then week two, they'd be back, and they'd be like, this is great. And you'd see them, some of them, like, grow wings and, like, just become super comfortable about who they were. And, like, some of them were funnier than any adult comic I've ever seen. And I'd say to them, are you going to carry on? Are you going to do this? You could do this. This could be what you do. You could be amazing at this. And they go, nah. And you're like, fucking hell, I can't do it, and I'm trying to do it.
Yeah. I didn't know the entry level, because I've always wanted to do it from a very young age. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, I'm surprised it took me till 23 to start. I was like, but I didn't know how to do it.
No,
do you know what I mean?
How old were you when you first wanted to do it?
Really, I did a talent contest when I was 9.
Did you?
Like stand up.
Right. Gong show.
Might as well have been. You're like in a caravan park, like
one of them.
fucking Pontins holiday sort of thing. So it's always been in my comedy. I used to write, like, you know, I covered on here, but like sketches of The Simpsons and in primary school and stuff like that. So I was always into comedy writing and sitcoms mainly, and then fell into stand up after watching Peter Kay and that.
Right.
So it's very, as long as I can remember. I used to watch Mock the Week and play along. That's how much of a fucking nonce I was.
Great.
And then it just took me till 23 to start.
Well, I was 25 when I started, and I think I was probably about 12, 13 when I wanted to do it, but didn't know how to do it like yourself, didn't know how to get into it, didn't know how to do a first gig. And every New Year's Day, for about 5 years, I used to say, right, my only resolution this year is I'm going to do a gig. And then it'd get to New Year's Day the next year, and I hadn't done it, and I'd go, right, no, this year I'm going to do it. And it was only when I was bladdered, and my mate said, why don't you... There was a Stars in Their Eyes competition on at university, and I was 25 then. And they said, why don't you do Mick Jagger? I said, well, I can't do Mick Jagger. They went, yeah, but you can do a Mick Jagger impression. It's like, oh, you know, like, oh, slightly punches. You know, like, just stupid Stella Street style. And so someone got me a pair of leopard skin leggings, cucumber down the front, leather waistcoat, wig, bottle of vodka, got absolutely leathered. Turned up to this competition, there was 12 people in it, all serious singers.
Oh, really?
And me. And I came second in front of about 800 people. Can't remember anything.
Fucking hell.
Can't remember anything.
What venue was that?
It was the Student Union, which is not far from me, but it's not there anymore. And I was, so drunk.
How old was you when you did this?
25.
That was 25.
Yeah, and then I won 20 quid, reinvested it in tequila, and then woke up the next day, didn't remember anything really. I was, fucking hell, I think I did something last night. Text on my phone, are you all right for tonight? And
what's this cucumber doing?
Yeah, that wasn't there when I put it. And then it was a text on my phone saying, you all right for tonight? And it was someone had booked me to do a comedy show the next night, because it was a student comedy night in the Unity Theatre, and someone had pulled out. They must have been desperate to see me on stage going, yeah. I thought, he's what we need on our bill. So I had a day to write a set, and I didn't want to do it.
5 or 10?
10. 10 minutes.
Yeah, mine was 10.
Wrote a set. It was absolutely awful. I was trying to be Bill Hicks.
Yeah,
so I was just railing against celebrities, and I was angry, and that's not who I am.
There's like pillars of it. There's people who want to be Bill Hicks. There's people who want to be Stuart Lee. And modern one is want to be James Acaster.
Yeah.
Frankie Boyle's another one. I still got my first set on my phone.
Have you?
Because I emailed it myself from work.
The video of it?
No.
The
scripts. I written it as a script. So I had it in my back pocket in case, because I don't know what the rules are or anything. Do you know what I mean? So I was just like, I'll keep it there just in case I forget where I'm up to and stuff. It's fucking. I thought, I'll go back and check it. You know, when it was because I realised I had it on me on my emails. I thought, this will be fun. I went, how has that not come out my mouth? How's that gone in my mind?
How have I not been banned?
Why is it so bad? I was like funny in the pub and all. Why is it so fucking bad?
One of my jokes. I can remember 2 of my jokes. One of my jokes in my first set was Christina Aguilera. She's a stupid bitch, isn't she? That was the joke. I thought that was going to be funny, to just be angry at someone. The other one was that I did for a few years, this joke, which was it it was the Carl Kennedy and Libby Kennedy who played father and daughter in the show Neighbours were actually going out with each other in real life.
Really?
I don't think that's true, but that's what he used to say. I think I'd read it somewhere. And then
Libby
I'd say,
Kennedy was fit.
that must be weird in the bedroom. And he's like, who's your fictional daddy?
That's good.
I still think that's got a little
I like
bit
that.
of there.
Mine were just awful puns, but about like horrific subjects. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
like really low hanging fruit, just terrible stuff. One of them was, I asked my dad for advice tonight, and he went, do jokes about vaginas. I'm not doing any jokes about vaginas. I went, just do some jokes about vaginas. I'm not doing any jokes about vaginas at all. And he went, do some jokes about vaginas. I'm not doing any jokes about vaginas. Period. That was my little closer.
My third gig was a fancy dress party for
Because you get dress up for these gigs, don't you?
fucking hell. a group of students finishing the degree. And my mate went, there's a DJ on and then you'll be on, that'll be all right, won't it? And I went, that'll be sound, not realising that is one of the most horrific ideas ever. And I was dressed as like a 70s pimp or something, with a big afro and a big trench coat, a velvet trench coat on.
Cucumber.
My trusty lucky cucumber at my side. It's like Gary Lineker's boots, you need them to have a good gig. And the DJ finished, I said to me, mate, you need to give me a little bit of an intro here, so people know what I'm doing. And the DJ just went with the music, and he went, here's Sam with some comedy. And then passed me the mic, and everyone, no one knew what was going on. All of a sudden, I was doing these routines. Christina Aguilera, she's a stupid bitch. Like, that doesn't make sense. And everyone had been dancing and, like, coming up on the Garys they'd been taking or whatever. And all of a sudden, I'm talking. It's not funny. It's not jokes. And I'm not saying it like a comedian. And I'm in fancy dress. So they're going, why is he commandeered the room? Is this a hold-up? And some woman came up to me and said, why don't you stop talking and put the music back on? Which wasn't really a heckle. It was a fucking fair request, to be honest. And instead of dealing with it,
Just really politely, just look.
yeah, I said, and I just went into full defense attack mode.
Yeah.
Like, you fucking stupid. And calling her all sorts of horrible names.
Yeah.
And then the whole thing just got very unsavoury very quickly.
That's a proper sign of underconfidence in it when they are so attacking.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But that's
When
the
it
same in life,
sounds-
innit? People do that.
yeah.
You see that on the bus. Like, someone obviously hates who they are and they get really angry.
For nothing.
It's like, you could give me shit and I'd just go, I probably agree with most of what you said.
Oh, there's
No.
a bloke yesterday on the bus, right? So I was getting the bus home from Stockport. It was a 20-minute bus. Well, I stayed there all night because it was a free bar, so, I'm not going to look a gift horse.
You're not
miles
stupid,
away.
are you?
And I was getting twatted and that. And I went to the bus and there was loads of fucking 16-year-olds with the tops off singing. And he went, who do you support? I was like, here we fucking go. Do you know what I mean? You're one fucking slip away, aren't you? Stockport's predominantly City fans as well.
Right.
So I know United, mate. But, said it with a United, what?
Oh, I would have said, cricket, mate. Lancashire.
And they all cheered. And then he started singing anti-Tottenham songs, which blew my mind. I was like, what the fuck are you singing that for? I don't give a shit about them. But there was just, they weren't being too bad, but just, I just want to go home. I'm pissed. I'll go to bed, I'm knackered. Just ballooning about, whatever. Get in the bus, and one of them was like, I'm 14, mate. And I was like, the bus driver weren't driving without him paying.
Oh.
And there was just fucking loads of them. There's like 15 of these lads.
So he's bladdered trying to get on for free.
Yeah,
or like
yeah.
half price.
Yeah. So he went, no, he's not paid. And in the end, another passenger paid. He just went, I just can't be arsed. I'll just pay it.
Mate.
Yeah. Anyway, so the bus was due at 10 to 11. Because of this delay, I did 15 minutes of arguing and stuff. We went to the next stop. There's this old fella there. Because it had gone past midnight. His day rider expired. And he was fucking fuming. He went, so because you're late. And the bus driver was like, I can't change the system. I was like, mate, just let him on. Are you fucking messing? So he's having another 2 stops with 2 arguments, mate.
Oh, my God.
But this old fella had fucking hated his life.
It'd be great to be a bus driver, though, and get to use the phrase, don't hate the player, hate the game.
Oh, mate. The best... Oh, I want to get this guy. I would love to have a drink with this guy. How cool this was, right? So he got the number 7... for Stagecoach fans, the number 7 from Stockport to Ashton, right?
It's a good route, that.
Yeah, mate used to park right outside my house. It was like fucking getting a taxi.
Like a limo, like a double-decker limo.
Yeah, they changed the route now.
Bastards. Don't hit the player, hit the
game. Mate, driving round, right? He just, before the turn to my house, he just parks up, right? So everyone's thinking, oh, and he gets off the bus, so we think, oh, there must be something wrong with the bus. I'm not asking, like 2 minutes away. He just got off, went to the baker's, and just queued up, got a couple of sausage rolls, and went back on the bus.
The driver?
Yeah, he just stopped. Fucking just didn't say anything. Just waltzed off. There was 3 in the queue in front of him.
You had to take a ticket and wait.
So he queued up, got his sausage rolls, didn't say anything. Everyone was just like stunned size. What the fuck's he doing?
No, wait for the hot ones, please.
Oh, but that was a baller move.
But that is, you got to respect that kind of confidence. The best bus driver I've ever met was on a bus from, I was doing the Fringe in Edinburgh about, 9 years ago it must have been, and I had a gig in Glasgow one night, so I got the train like to Glasgow, and then I was getting the night bus back to Edinburgh to go where I was living for the month, and there was this couple, and the fella was bladdered, and there was a undertone he was being a bit abusive to his missus, and it was horrible. And he got up and he was bladdered and he was being horrible and he was doing everyone's head in, and she looked a bit freaked out. And this female bus driver started slamming on the brakes at the right moments to make him stutter.
Yes.
And he went, "Are you doing that?" And she was Australian. She went, "Yeah, I'm doing that. I need to use the brakes." And he was like, "Are you doing that so I fall?" And he was like, and then she did it, and you know the big thing you hold on, it just twatted his head. Blood. Class. Amazing. And she didn't back down. She went, "Oh, sorry," like that, like dead nonchalant. And then when, I think it was the stop before they were due to get off, she just stopped, opened the doors, opened their little thing, kicked him out, shut the doors and drove off.
Oh, my God.
And all of us went, "Hey!"
That is class.
And even the missus, I mean, that's the thing, you got to worry, like, what happened to it when he fucking got home. But even she seemed quite pleased. It was just
it's a bit of respite, isn't it?
Beautiful moment.
5th emergency service, mate.
Yeah.
The buses.
I said to the woman, I said, "You're my new hero, this bus driver." She went, "Oh, I used to work in a prison." So I was just thinking prison cell block 8. She was like the freak or something, putting a black glove on.
I was scared off the number 7 bus for about 6 months.
You couldn't go on it?
Yeah, because something happened. Like, so my mate, I was in his house and was watching Fawlty Towers, and he had some fart spray.
Yeah,
that just makes a thing smell like farts. And I sprayed it too much in his face, and he had an asthma attack. And I was like, "Oh fuck!" And we fell out over it. But like his sister bollocked me. I was like, I weren't doing it to be a dickhead. I've just,
I've gone too far.
I've gone too far, but I weren't trying to, cause him.
It wasn't a homicide attempt.
But it was like, he's not catching his breath here. I'm like shitting. And it was like, he had to go A&E and that. It was, and at the moment, it's only like getting a check out, but when you're like, "Oh my God, I've killed me,
What a
mate."
way to kill someone.
Fart spray. He died doing what he loved.
He died in a Dutch oven.
And I was playing football, and as I said, the 7 pulls up outside my house. I was playing facing my house, and his dad was the bus driver, and he just pointed his like angry finger at me and went, "I can never get the bus again."
No.
Absolutely not.
No. You're going to have to find a different route.
Yeah, we was like, fucking that. Do you know what I mean? And then that just severed us.
Are you friends again now?
Oh, we're friendly now, yeah. Because that was when we was like 9 or 10. But we don't see each other. But we was like, occasionally, see you do fucking stand up and all that, and you did music and stuff. So
good, good.
All's well. That ends well. Shout out Tom. Sorry for the fart spray. And now I can get the number 7 bus without fear of getting bollocked.
Good. It's good to have routes that you can wander in it. You don't want to be looking at ways to move about the place you live and think, "Well, I can't go that way because I nearly killed someone's son with fart spray." Yeah. That's limiting. I can't go that way because I fingered his cat. You can't. I don't know. I'm just grasping at straws, but you don't want to. You want to live a free life.
I used to. There was this guy who used to hit golf balls, and I used to chase him and get them for him so we could hit it again. And he'd give me he just give me like a rusty 7 iron. So it was like a present, like one of his old irons. So I just have one iron.
Was this like work experience for school? Was it? Golf ball catcher.
But I was playing football on my own, like Joe, just kicking, just on the field, trying to hit the crossbar, that kind of thing. Mates, I had mates, but on this occasion I was just knocking about on my own. And he just used to go on and hit golf balls. So I was like quite interested because we used to go on the golf course and find golf balls and stuff. You know, arsing about basically, putting golfers off the swing and being dickheads. But I was getting quite. We used to break onto it and just play because we may had a couple of clubs, so we just do like a par 3, trying to just fucking arsing about. So I was into it for one summer, and I was alright for watching for a bit. This old man and his 11-year-old mate. So he'd hit a golf ball like 100 yards or whatever, and then I'd go, I'll go and get it for you. And so I was just doing
like fetch.
I was just doing fetch, yeah. And I
think you're smarter than a monkey.
So I used to but I do it every day. So we formed like quite a friendship with this pensioner hitting golf balls, and I mean, cynics would look at it as grooming,
or you could look at it as like the next MCU like origin story about like a crime-fighting duo.
Yeah, and I pocketed one of his balls,
Oh,
and I'm sure he wouldn't have minded.
Is that a euphemism or? Was it one of the good ones?
I pocketed one of his balls, and I was so riddled of anxiety. I'm sure he wouldn't have been asked. He gave me a club last week, but I've not got any balls. So I nicked one of his balls, and I was riddled of anxiety, and I never went back and played fetch with him.
I was so guilty. I just threw it through his window.
Yeah, and he died not knowing the truth. Sorry, Brian. I've come clear.
Brian, if you're watching from the next world,
Are we finished?
Yeah, you've done.
Oh shit, have we? Fuck, sorry. Didn't want to overrun because Sam is on stage doing new material tonight. Just finished your tour. Are you prepping for your next tour?
I am, but that's not going to be till autumn 2023. So I've
Right.
got a load of new dates for me current tour, which is called Role Model, and that's on my website, samaverycomedy.com. There's loads of new dates in the autumn. Loads of places I've not been to ever before.
Oh, sweet. Get on that. The Confessions of a Learner Parent, one of your big sort of breaks, is that fair to say? So it's a blog that turned into a book?
Yeah, it was just like a Facebook blog that I made into a book, so you can get that on Amazon.
Yeah. Buy that. Go and see him on tour. Absolutely brilliant. We don't invite shit acts on. So it's got our seal of approval. Go and watch that. Sign up to the membership. Get bonus episodes and early access to ours, and first dibs on when we do tour tickets. My Work in Progress show sold out in 3 hours, and that's because a lot of the members bought tickets before they went on public sale. So if you want the benefits, sign up, please. Tony will be back next week with a guest, and he'll be back on the exclusive next week as well. And just send him a nice message about his feet. That is all. Anything else, Sam? You want to plug or anything? Or
No,
socials?
I'm thinking of doing some of your material from your first gig in my new material slot
Absolutely.
tonight.
I've got my old set on there.
Fanny joke. Yeah, I'll just read that out.
I've got my 2014 set. Bonfire Night 2014. Not much fireworks happening, but we're here now, aren't we? It just took 7.5 years to get good. We'll see you again soon. Bye bye.